Hello and welcome back to Nothing But Net, brought to you by Always Balling for the player within. I'm Mike Miller, and what a week it has been again in the NBA. It just never seems to stop. It's been relentless the past couple of weeks particularly. So we've had a whole host of injuries. We've had, it started off with Mike Conley giving up on his ankle rehab and opting for surgery. Then DeMarcus Cousins ruptured his Achilles. Then Andre Roberson ruptured his patella tendon. Then John Wall has had to undergo a knee procedure, which will keep him out for 6 weeks. And then Kevin Love has broken a hand, which will keep him out for 6 weeks. And then last night, Isaiah Cannon turned around and left his ankle behind. 3 of those guys were all-stars, which means that in replacement of Cousins, Wall and Love, you will get Paul George, Andre Drummond and Goran Dragic in the All-Star game. What else has happened? How did I forget that? Blake Griffin is a Piston. Didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming, given that they gave him the whole Clipper for Life spiel in order to re-sign him last summer. Loyalty in sports and all that. Mirotic has also been traded to the Pelicans after a bit of back and forth in exchange for, the main piece would be Omer Asik, who's gone back to the Bulls, having left the Bulls because they refused to pay him a couple of years ago. So he's taken his hefty contract that he signed with Houston that was backloaded back to the Bulls. Good decision there, Jerry Reinsdorf and Garpax. CJ McCollum last night, 50 points in 3 quarters, epic. But the stat line of the week has to be, what day are we on now? Thursday. So it's Tuesday night's game, Houston Rockets versus the Orlando Magic in 114 to 107 win, which I know what you're thinking, it's the Magic, whoop-de-doo, but let's be fair to the Magic, they played absolutely astonishingly, they played really, really well, hit everything. Hazonia looked really good, and I thought, now I'm sort of getting back into him. I haven't watched him in a while because he annoyed me after his rookie season. But of course the stat line we need to talk about is the 60-point triple-double from James Harden for the first time in NBA history. A 60-point triple-double. I think it's only around the 25th time that someone's actually put up 60 points in an NBA game anyway. But he did it. He did it without the help of Chris Paul on the team. He obviously had to shoulder more of the scoring load. Trevor Ariza was gone as well, and then Eric Gordon left the game after spraining his back, I believe. He had a usage rate of 43.8%, and he recorded over 46 minutes of playing time, which in a 48-minute game is absolutely nuts. He didn't shoot well. Well, he shot okay from behind the 3-point line. I think he was 5 of 14. And then inside the 3, he only missed 2 shots the entire night, and the bulk of his shots were layups, and they were basically uncontested for the first half. The Magic just didn't switch on to him at all, which is bizarre, given that we well know this guy is an MVP caliber player. And I admit, I've never been the biggest James Harden fan, and I am aware of the bias I have towards him, and I'm growing as a person to live with this bias and move on from it. The bias I have with him, he makes things look too easy, and because he makes things look too easy, people think he's lazy. He's not particularly the most extrovert, outgoing, noisy guy on the court. He doesn't finish with ferocious dunks. He doesn't scream all the time. There are some good clips of him screaming though with his big old beard. I've got to love that beard. I don't fear it. I love it. I mainly don't fear it because I don't have to face it as an NBA defender. But what an absolute performance! It was a franchise record, 60 points as well. Making and if you think of the players Houston have had like T-Mac and Olajuwon and guys like that, for him to be up there ahead of those guys is absolutely unreal. But where does it put him in the MVP candidacy? Because he's had 2 very close, some would say he was robbed previously, in 2015 when Steph Curry won it after leading the winningest team never to win a title, 73-9 Warriors. And then last year having the Russell Westbrook triple-double season, he lost out there again. Is this finally his year? It certainly feels like he is by far and away the leader of the pack. Is that, if you think there's someone else out there that can beat him, please get in touch with me. Let me know. I'd love to hear your point of view. But right now, I cannot see anyone coming near. He's shown off all comers. He's lasted a lot longer than others have this season with continually excellent outputs. He's kept the Rockets going with the best offense in the league, and the second best record in the West during a prolonged period without Chris Paul. My only concern is, will he keep it up in the playoffs? We keep saying this. I know the MVP is a regular season award, but it doesn't come until after the playoffs under the new format, and it's really frustrating when you've got a guy just disappear like he did last year in the playoffs, and it sort of justifies the why he was an MVP talk. So I really want to see him go out. Really want to see him put in an epic performance in this year's playoffs. But absolutely phenomenal performance in that 60-point game. He contributed to 84 of their 114 points. He only had 11 assists only, which would have been significantly, almost double. It would have been significantly higher if Clint Capella had been able to just finish his breakfast. He caught the ball so many times under the rim and missed. He shot 40% from there. Just for comparison, DeAndre Jordan, who has no scoring move that involves anything other than a dunk, averages about 70% from there. Clint Capella, if he'd have just been marginally better, you'd have seen probably a 60-20-10 game, which would have been another amazing feat. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on Harden and his MVP candidacy, or if anyone else out there is floating your boat for that, or how far do you think this Houston Rocket team is going to go? I'll leave it there, but thank you very much for watching. Make sure you follow us on all the big social media channels at NothingButNetBB. That's right, yeah, had to think twice about that. And make sure you go over to alwaysballin.com, check out their gear, and if you find something you like, which they've got hoodies, beanies and t-shirts, you can pick one up. In fact, you can pick up more than one, 10% off your whole order. Just use the code, all one word, NothingButNet. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.